Hi everybody, it's Frank Spector, frankspectorlaw.com, medical malpractice lawyer and birth injury lawyer in DC and Maryland for over 30 years. So if you have a child that has cerebral palsy or brain damage from a birth injury, and you are deciding what lawyer to choose or maybe getting some information as to how much a case like this may be worth, you may come across websites or other information that show you verdicts and settlements that are in the millions of dollars, maybe 5 million, maybe 8 million, maybe 10 million. And you may be wondering to yourselves, well, where do those numbers come from? So that's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. Before we get to the meat of the video, please hit that subscribe button below. That way you'll be able to take advantage of all my future videos, and it really helps me out a lot. So when you have a case of medical malpractice involving a birth injury, one of our jobs is to be able to make some projections about what the future medical care costs will be for the rest of your child's life. Now, it always wasn't the case that children with brain damage and cerebral palsy would live long lives. But with modern medicine, children are living well into adulthood and into many decades. So the future medical care costs can be enormous because children and adults with these types of injuries are living much longer. And so we have medical experts, and if you've seen my prior videos, I've talked to you about what medical experts are, so please go to my YouTube channel and look for that video. I'll provide a link to that video below. But we have experts that talk about the life expectancy of children, how long a child, and specifically your child, is likely to live. And that's important because once we know that information, then we know how long we have to provide future medical care costs for. Now, children who have severe brain damage, don't walk or talk or see or hear, are not able to take care of their activities of daily living, so they will need constant care, maybe even 24-hour-a-day care. And so in order for us to be able to determine what the future medical care costs are, we have to retain a specific type of expert called a life care planner. Now, a life care planner is usually a nurse who has experience in being able to determine, number one, what the future care costs are, and also what the care required will be. And that can be a very comprehensive list. That would include all of the therapies that are needed, medical exams that are needed, all the supplies that are needed. But the biggest number is usually the amount of nursing care that's needed. Like I said before, sometimes children who go into adulthood will still need 24-hour-a-day care. And that level of care, depending on how severe the injury is, can require a registered nurse or a licensed nurse, and not just someone to provide just aid, making meals. It requires a higher level of medical care because of the nature of the severity of the medical conditions involved. Nursing care is extremely expensive. And if someone needs round-the-clock care, that can be enormous. And that's one of the reasons why the future medical costs can be in the millions. Because you can imagine that someone who needs 24-hour-a-day care for 30 years or 40 years or even 25 years, those care costs are going to be extremely, extremely expensive. And so when we determine what the costs are, and then we determine what the needs are, we're able to then project out what amount of money today will be needed to take care of all of those medical care costs for the rest of your child's life. Now, we only have one opportunity to bring a case before a jury. And so by the time we get to a trial, if the case does not settle, then that child may only be 5 years old or 8 years old, maybe even younger than that. And so we don't have an opportunity to come back later and ask the jury for more money after the case is concluded. We only have one opportunity. And that's why we have to present all of it all at once to the jury. So I'm going to be doing some other videos about the other aspects of money damages in a case, but the future medical care costs are the biggest part of the damages workup in a cerebral palsy or birth injury case. And just to sum up, the reason that we have to do that is because we only have one opportunity to bring the case before the jury, and we have to be able to make sure that your child is taken care of for his or her life for the rest of their life, and child could live for decades. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it provided you some helpful information. All of my contact information will be again in the links below. And if you have a question about your child's cerebral palsy or birth injury case, my contact information will be below, and I look forward to speaking with you.